So, you're thinking about buying a home here in Bend, Oregon, but you have no idea where to start. In this episode, we're going to show you the 8-step process to buying a home. It's actually a pretty simple process, but it can seem very daunting if you've never done it before. So if that sounds like something you're into, let's get after it right now. If this is your first time on the channel and you'd like to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, playing, the good and the bad of Bend, Oregon and the surrounding areas, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about current market conditions here in Bend, Oregon. My name is Zach Nutter. My business partner Ryan and I, both licensed brokers with eXp Realty in the state of Oregon. We get calls, texts, emails every day from people just like you looking to make the move here to Bend, Oregon, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We'd love to help you make a smooth move here to Bend, Oregon. So with that being said, let's talk about the 8 steps to buying a home. Number 1 is finding a great lender to help you figure out if you're ready to buy a home. They're going to help you determine what you can afford, what you need for down payment, and closing costs. Closing costs. A lot of people forget about closing costs or don't know about closing costs. So closing costs are going to be your loan fees, your escrow fees, things like that a lot of people don't think about. So a lender is going to help you understand, again, what you can afford and what you're going to need to bring to the table, have available cash to be able to purchase a home. They're also going to help you figure out, are you able to purchase a home right now? Or do you have to wait a little while? And if you do have to wait a little while, a good lender will help build a roadmap for you to fix whatever issues are holding you back for buying a home right now. So finding a good lender is so important, and that's why we put it as the number 1 step in buying a home. Number 2, finding a great real estate agent that can help you with all the steps along the way. So buying a house is like eating an elephant. How do you do that? One bite at a time. It's a daunting task to start with, but when you break it down into the small pieces, it's really not that bad. And finding a great agent will help you with that. If you come to a great agent and you don't have a lender, they're going to help provide you a lender. They're not provide you, but they're going to point you in the direction of some great lenders. Again, you can use whoever you want, but they're going to help provide you with some great resources there. They're going to help you navigate the purchase process, the negotiations, the repairs, all of that stuff. And at the end of the day, they're going to hand you some keys. So a great realtor is going to have all the resources available for you and help you with that process. Number 3, that's 3, right? 3. Number 3 is establishing your criteria. And you can also do this before. We had a client recently that came to us with all their criteria written down, 12 houses that they loved, the areas that they really loved, and it was so helpful. It's very seldom that happens, but that's something that you can be thinking about. Okay, what are my non-negotiables? Where do I want to be? Do I need a fenced yard? Do I need single story? Do I need what is important to me as a homeowner? And you have your non-negotiables, you have your nice to haves, and have that list ready so that when you meet with an agent, that you are able to tell them exactly what's important to you. It'll make their job a lot easier, and it'll also paint a pretty clear picture for you. You don't have to have everything down, but it's really important to know what is important to you. It'll help your agent really be able to find you the best home that suits your needs. And a lot of times when people come to us, they have all of this stuff written out, and some of it, they're like, I absolutely will not do this, that, and the other. And then they fall in love with the house. So know that they're not hard, fast lines, but know really what you want in a home. This will help you tremendously in the buying process. And like I said, it'll help your agent really understand what's important to you and help guide you to finding the best home absolutely possible. Number 4 is writing the offer. So you've got a great lender, you're pre-approved, you've got a great agent, you've assembled a good team, you found a home that you like based off of your criteria, and you are ready to put pen to paper. At this point, we're ready to write. So we need to know how much we're going to offer. We need to know how much earnest money we're going to put down. This is the money that goes into escrow almost immediately right after you get an accepted offer, and it stays there until it closes, and then it's actually becomes part of your down payment, goes to satisfy the down payment. It's your skin in the game. So you got to have your earnest money, and then you got to know, okay, do I want to ask for the refrigerator? What appliances do I want to ask for? Is there anything else in there? You establish the closing date, and you go through it. An agent's going to help you with all these little pieces. And then the seller has three options. The seller can accept your offer, hopefully. They can reject your offer, hopefully not. Or they can counter your offer. If they say, you know, we're good with the price and the earnest money, but we don't want to give up our fridge. We just bought it. We want to take it with us to our next home. And then you get to decide, okay, am I going to accept, reject, or counter that? It goes back and forth until you have an agreement or until you've both decided you're too far apart. And at that point, if you have an agreement, you're in contract. That takes us to step number 5. So step number 5 is another negotiation. You are in your contingency periods. Most contracts have an inspection contingency of some kind. Every area has different inspections that they have done depending on the climate and what's required in that area. But a home inspection is pretty standard. So you'll have a home inspection done. The inspector will go in and they'll go through all the systems and the attic and the crawl space and all that. And they'll give you a nice report that shows you all the hazards, all the things that should be repaired, and gives you kind of a real overlook of what the house's health is. And at that point, it becomes another negotiation. So you'll have your agent draft up a repair addendum. And again, they can accept, reject, or counter what the seller is willing to do to the house. And depending on the market and how competitive it is, or every person, every situation is completely different, they may say, we'll do all of it, or they'll say, we'll do part of it, or they'll say, we'll do none of it. Sometimes they'll say, you know, we don't have the time or the availability to do it right now, but we can offer you a credit for a portion of the repairs. There's just a lot of different things that go into it. So once you have an agreement on the repairs, that's when the lender's gonna order the appraisal. So the appraiser comes in, looks at the house again, and determines its value based off of standard practices that appraisers go through. And they just make sure that what you are paying for the home is what the home is actually valued at. So this is an important step in the process. So after the appraisal is finalized, you'll know, okay, an appraiser has said, yes, the house is worth the value. It has to meet value. If it does not meet the value, you have to go back to the negotiating table. The appraisal is a very important part of the process. If the home does not meet value, then at that point, you'll have to work with your agent to figure out what the next steps are. If it does meet value, then we move on to the next phase of the transaction. Now, this phase of the transaction is just ensuring that the repairs have been completed. So you have your repair addendum. Both parties have agreed these are the things that are going to be repaired. Typically, you can either have them send you all the invoices from the contractors, photos for things being done. You can also hire your inspector to come back and do a re-inspection of the property after you've got notification from the seller that the repairs have been completed. And once the repairs are done, now it's up to just getting into the closing process. 7th step, final walkthrough. So you'll want to go through the house, just make sure that everything looks good. You know, there's all kinds of different things when people are moving out, nicks and dings and different stuff. Sometimes it's little, but sometimes it's big. You know, they ran the refrigerator across the hardwood floors and scratched the flooring. You're going to want to make sure that there is note of that before and that it gets taken care of before the actual closing happens. You're going to want to make note of that. Just make sure that it gets repaired before anything else is done. A final walkthrough is just, you know, making sure the house is clean, the yard's cleaned up, everything's functioning the way it was when you first went and saw the house. So very important step. So the final step, number 8, is closing. So you're going to get a closing disclosure at least 3 days before closing. You're going to get an estimated settlement statement that shows you this is what you need to bring to escrow and cash to close, and lots of other numbers. And then you're going to go to escrow. You're going to go in and they're going to give you a really nice pen. You're going to stretch your fingers out real good, and you're going to sign a stack of documents. And after that, usually the next day, you're going to be closed. You're going to have, that is going to be your home. You're going to get the keys from the other agent, and then you're going to start moving in. And if you got a good agent, maybe they'll help you move in. But so it's not that difficult of a process. I know it seems like it can be very daunting, but it's very simple. If you assemble a good team that really understands you and wants to help you get into the home that you love, It's not very difficult. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. If this is your first time on the channel, please subscribe to the channel, tap the bell for notifications. Let us know what else we can provide for you to help you in this process. Again, Zach Nutter, licensed broker with eXp Realty. Love to help you. Ryan and I are here for you anytime you need. So until the next video, we'll see you guys soon.